Okay, with the electric load center, I think I've got one, maybe two videos on that. I like to put it all together, but it's kind of hard. I'm working around people, so that's all right. Everybody's got to work. Everybody's got to work. So this is, remember on the other side, the video that was preceding this one, or maybe the two videos preceding this one, I've got two ground wires that are not connected. Okay, we're supposed to have two grounds within 6 feet. This actually acts as a second ground within 6 feet. That's called a UFR, and if you look back there, you can see that it's attached to the acorn, and that also doubles as the electrical bonding, which also, by the way, speaking of electrical bonding, over here on the water heater, we've got electrical bonding. So we've got that and that. That's probably why I didn't get electrocuted outside. So that bonds the gas system and the electrical system. The UFR bonds the electrical system, which is the second ground, and also acts as a second ground. And so we're looking pretty good. It'd be nice if we had a grounding rod on the other side, but we don't. We don't. That should say UFER on there. And then over here, it should be printed. It should say ground bonding location, main bonding location, UFR on garage south interior wall. You know, maybe you don't usually get that much details. Or it should say, you know, bond on the gas pipe on the water heater. And you usually get something like that. Now over here, this is the cover plate, and we're missing something. You know what we're missing? You know what I don't see? I don't see an energy rating. I don't see an energy rating. This house isn't legal. You can't get a certificate of occupancy. You shouldn't be able to get a certificate of occupancy. It's not rated. It's not it's not energy rated. They didn't do that. Now, see these right here? And this is from another video, so I apologize for the redundancy. These are pre-printed stickers. They'll say like kitchen cabinets. They'll say bathrooms. They'll say GFCI. They'll say, they don't say anything. Where did our pre-printed stickers gonna go? You know what they're gonna go do in here? I hope they don't do it. I'm warning you about this. They shouldn't be doing this. But this should not be handwritten. Okay, this should be printed. Like it says Eaton right there. Like it says UL listed right there. Like it says electric cabinet front right there. That's printing. Main module. Printing. Handwriting. It should not be handwritten. I did not wake up this morning and just ask myself, you know what, how can I piss the builder off today? I just didn't do that. I just didn't do that. I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of a person. I didn't make those rules up. Eaton, the manufacturer, made those rules up. The International Electrical Code made those rules up. The International Residential Code made those rules up. A lot of people feel that this should be printed, like it says 15, 17, 19, that's printing. If they come in there and they handwrite on that, will it work? Yes, it'll work. Do you have any problems with it? Not because it was printed, unless you can't find something, unless it fades and goes away. But until then, you know, you'll be blissfully unaware. Moving on along, and we're coming in here, this cabinet, okay, it's screwed in, the gaps are right. This is, you know, looks like a pretty decent installation. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to lose my reputation, but it does. Looks like a pretty decent installation. We got just a couple little things in here. You're not supposed to have any contaminants, that's paint, inside of the cabinet. That's the manufacturer. That's the International Residential Code. You shouldn't have combustible materials inside of the cabinet. Again, that's the International Residential Code. Okay, that's the cabinet manufacturer. That's the National Electrical Code. I didn't make that up. So vacuum it. This would probably vacuuming it would probably be sufficient. It probably would. I'm not seeing any paint on the bus bars. So no paint on the bus bars. That's what we're trying to protect. So just clean that up so it's not dusty. Clean all this stuff out of here, this combustible. And that's it. So what did we learn? We learned that our grounding rod is not buried. We learned that our UFR is not labeled. Our bonding location is not labeled. We learned that our breakers are not labeled. We learned that we got some dust in the cabinet, and the cabinet is inside of the cabinet. The electric load center, breaker box, call it what you will, but you know, that's what we learned. These are only, because it's not labeled, I don't know if we have enough GFCIs. I don't know if we have enough AFCIs. I don't know if we have enough equipment. One of these is to the clothes dryer, probably that one right there. That's not GFCI protected. And then on our range, it's probably 50 amps. All right, so one of these 50 amps, well, maybe what's the, air conditioner is rated for 30. That does not go to the air conditioner. It goes to the clothes dryer. That should be GFCI protected. Then over here, whichever one of these we decide goes to the range, the oven, all right, it should have a lockout. So you can turn it off, lock it, go work on the oven. Somebody comes in the garage, hey, this is off, turns it on, you get lit up. No, they come in here, they say that you got a lockout on the handle. They go like, oh, I can't turn that off. I wonder what's going on. I said, wow, Bud, you're in the kitchen working on the range. I said, I sure am. Wow, I almost electrocuted you. I said, did you see the lockout? And they said, yeah. I said, well. So we don't have a lockout for the range. We do not have GFCI for the clothes dryer. Our air conditioning unit is overfused. When an air conditioning unit, when a condensing unit is overfused, these breakers are designed to trip at a certain amount of heat. That's what it relates to. So what happens is, if it's overrated for your condensing unit, it means your condensing unit can go into critical mode and without protection. This won't trip in a timely manner, and the condensing unit will continue to operate when it's too hot. When it's too hot. And wait a minute, I get to thinking here. 15 amps for the inside one. We don't have a 15 amp double pole. Both of the condensing units are overfused. Things come to me. Sometimes when I'm drifting off to sleep, unfortunately. But I'll come back to you. I'll get back to you. But yeah, both of the condensing, based on what's available here, both of the condensing units are overfused. They will not trip in a timely manner to save the equipment. So our condensing units are overfused. We do not have GFCI for the clothes dryer. We do not have a lockout for the range. We have dust and debris in the cabinet. We've got our breakers are not properly labeled. Our bonding location is not labeled. Our grounding rod is not buried. And we do not have an energy rating.